Welcome. Namaste. I'm Tina Kivanen, and I'm so excited to be offering you a restorative yoga practice that is in honor of the new moon phase of the lunar cycle. The new moon invites us to slow down, to do less. So taking some time for this practice may be your way of carving out just a little bit of time to really foster stillness within, cultivate relaxation, and give yourself the gift of some restorative practice. I encourage you to do this practice anytime that you feel the need for some deep rest, and especially around the new moon. This practice is also unique for restorative yoga because my intention is to offer you a practice that is really using minimal props. So we know that restorative yoga practice is often utilizing many props, maybe blocks or bolsters or straps, pillows, blankets to help support the body. And this practice of using many props is amazing, and I absolutely love it. And I also feel that it can be useful to explore ways that we can bring in a restorative style practice using maybe what we have available at home and really minimal prop usage. So of course, if you have props that you love to use, you can bring them in and find ways of utilizing what you have. But if you're at home and you have just minimal props, or you'd like to try it out using just what I have here to guide you with, please feel free to experiment. So what we're using here is a single bed pillow. So this should be easy for anyone to find, is a bed pillow. And then 2 blankets. The 2 blankets can be folded, and I'll show you the first blanket shape. It's sort of a nice long fold, nice long rectangle, which first we're placing on the mat about here, and you can adjust as we move into the pose. The second blanket is can be similar in terms of the height, and that's it may not be quite as skinny of a rectangle, if that makes sense, but you can adjust either one as you need as we flow into the practice. So of course, listen to your body, do whatever your body needs, whatever your soul needs to make this practice really nourishing for you. We'll get started in a posture known as Mountain Brook. And in Mountain Brook, we have that blanket on the mat so that it will be coming behind your shoulder blades across the back of the heart. So if you identify sort of where your sternum is, that center of the chest, you're looking for that blanket to come across the back, across the shoulder blades. Your pillow can get tucked nicely underneath the knees. And as you come down, you can adjust your blanket so that it's really comfortably placed in that line of the shoulder blades. And then your second blanket is underneath your head. And this blanket, you could always shift a little higher or roll it under the base of the skull if you need as well. So the shoulders, the sort of top of the shoulders, should still be on the earth here. And we're creating a very gentle back bend in this pose. You might have your arms outstretched to the sides in between the 2 blankets, making sure that your head is comfortably supported. We always want to make sure the chin isn't lifting and that you have all the support you need for your head. Ensuring that the legs feel comfortable, perhaps extended over your pillow. You may be closing the eyes or placing a light covering over your eyes in this pose. Begin to welcome your breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. Allowing the awareness of the breath to guide you into the moment. As you land here in the sanctuary of your practice. Sense the rise and fall of each breath. Each wave of breath guiding you to relax a little more, to soften a little more into stillness. Noticing the belly and chest expanding when you breathe in, the lungs inflating. And the breath out, long, slow, and relaxed. And in this position, with this very gentle, supported opening through the front of the body, you may sense that there's room here for your breath. And begin to welcome a feeling of inner spaciousness. Spaciousness of body, mind, heart. Spaciousness of the self. As the new moon invites us to relax into spaciousness, like that open sky filled with stars. The darkness of the night soothing, nourishing your need for stillness and peace. Notice how the breath may be slowing down as you pay attention to it. It may be deepening and lengthening. Begin to welcome awareness to expand throughout your being. Welcoming the many layers of the self. The physical body landing here in this position on the earth. Physical sensations. Heartbeat and breath. Annamaya kosha. And the more subtle layer of prana, the energetic field, the nervous system, the movement of prana, of breath within you. The subtle, energetic pathways, sensations or textures of the energy within you. And sensing Annamaya kosha, the physical body, and Pranamaya kosha, the energetic body, together. And welcoming the body that is processing, digesting our life experiences through thought and emotion, mana maya kosha. As you invite mental processing to soften, you may sense the quality of your emotional body, emotional sensation. And welcoming that which is witnessing this unfolding, witnessing with compassion the Vijnana Maya Kosha, watching the unfolding experience of being, holding space for yourself to be here as you are. In a natural state of wholeness and peace, Ananda Maya Kosha, the nourishing nectar of relaxation that's pouring through you. And a felt sense of all the layers, all the koshas. As you welcome yourself to be here as you are. And let's rest here for a few more breaths. And the cycle of each breath following the exhale to the emptiness at the end of the exhale, where the impulse to breathe in naturally arises. And welcome that point at the end of the exhale as a source of life that arises. Life arises from the emptiness, from the stillness, the mystery, the dark moon, the night. We'll begin a very gentle and slow transition, just like these turning points in the breath that we flow with ease through, these changing rhythms. Just like in our lives, we flow through transition with ease. You may deepen the breath and wiggle the fingers and the toes ever so slightly, ever so slowly. Maybe the head rocks a little side to side. You eventually make some gentle movements as you shape shift. Gentle rotations of the ankles or wrists. A little rock of the head side to side, or a gentle wiggle down the spine. As we slowly make our way from this posture to the next, you may start with bending the knees and then rolling over and gently pressing yourself up, knowing there's no rush at all. And in your transition, we'll be shifting to a position on our hands and knees into table. So you may move your pillow to the back of your mat and then flip yourself over. And here I like to take advantage of the pillow and let the top of my feet rest on the pillow and table, knowing that you can also bring extra padding under your knees for support. And we'll do a few spinal movements here. Cat and cow as we inhale to lower the belly, lift the heart, the crown, the tail. Exhale to round your spine, tucking chin and tailbone under, flowing back and forth here. And then when the spine comes to neutral, pause. Gently wave the hips towards the right and draw your right ear towards your right shoulder like a crescent shape in the spine, and come back to center in the other side. Crescent to the left, left ear to left shoulder, hips to the left, and continue to gently find this C curve from one side to the other. Come to center and pause there. And we'll lift just the right knee open to the side for just a few breaths. Circle your right knee. The other direction too. Opening, closing the hip. To soften the knee back to the earth and lift the left knee to the side. So we're just rotating around the hip, warming this joint, maybe changing the direction. Beautiful, until you lower the knee back down. And here we'll be coming down onto our bellies. And I'd like you to shift your long folded blanket down a little bit. And take your time to slither down so that your blanket is coming across the space below the navel. So I'll just come back up for a moment to give you a visual of where that might be in your body. If you find your bony hip points and the space below your navel, you're looking for that blanket to be across that area. So it's coming across the front of the hips and the low belly. And this creates a nice massage for the hip flexors, the psoas muscle, as well as massages the belly, the organs of digestion, the enteric brain. Here, you may rest your arms to the sides like cactus shape, and the head can turn to first the left side. So we'll have the right ear down and the head turned to the left. Noticing if you need to adjust at all, and I've positioned myself so that I'm using my other blanket for my head. You might slide it out of the way if you prefer, or keep it there. And I have my feet supported by my pillow, which allows the knees to relax, the legs to relax in a nice alignment. And as you settle in here, noticing the blanket under the belly, across the hips. This very gentle stimulation here to help release stored tension in the psoas muscle and also in hip flexors, and the belly breathing against the earth, massaging organs of digestion and the enteric brain. The gentle feeling of broadening across the back of the heart and the lower back. Allowing the breath to rise and fall in its gentle pace. As each wave of breath guides you to let go a little more. to soften and melt even more relaxed with every breath. Tension draining away. Allowing yourself this gift of stillness to take refuge. Nothing to do and nowhere to be. Simply relaxing and letting go, just as you are. And as you relax, here we'll be adding just a little change to the pose to transition into an iguana on the left side. To come into the iguana, you'll shift just enough that you can bend your left knee and glide it up towards the left waist. And you do have the blanket there, and it might work out that the knee rests on the blanket if that's comfortable, or you might have it resting beside the blanket. You can keep both the arms in cactus shape, or you might prefer your right arm to rest along the side of the body. As you make this shift and this adjustment, notice if you can wiggle at all and settle in even the most slightest little micro movement, helping you to land into your expression of comfort and ease. Noticing any areas of the body where you may be holding or experiencing a gripping or a tightness, and letting your breath flow into these spaces, creating space. With every breath, letting go even more, to be even more relaxed than you were the breath before. And as you let go go into gravity. Notice, where is the mind? Wherever is the mind, offer compassion and welcome the mind back to spaciousness like that dark moon sky filled with stars, endless and infinite. At home in the mystery. And taking just a few more breaths here. Belly and heart connecting with the earth. And we'll be making our way into transition first, taking your time to gently ease your left leg back to stretch out. And then turning the head so that your left ear is down and the head is turned to the right, and you might have cactus arms again with both arms. And we'll rest here in this expression of crocodile, letting the heart and the belly meet the earth. The gentle broadening and opening across the back. A feeling of creating space through the open back body as you let go into gravity. Smoothly flowing waves of breath, guiding you there to soften and let go into the peace and into the stillness that is here within you. And here we'll be making our transition to iguana on this second side. The next few breaths, there's no rush at all. You may let your right knee bend and glide up towards the right waist, maybe just along the floor, maybe on your blanket, whatever feels nourishing. You might keep both the arms in cactus, or you might let your left arm extend beside you, choosing what feels best for your body here. Knowing that you can find micro movements and adjustments that help you settle in to that sweet spot where you can release and let go. And belly breathing against the earth. Heart pulsing against the earth. Like an umbilical cord connection to the center of the earth. feel the welcomed embrace of gravity. So whatever tension you may be holding, whether physical or emotional or mental tension, can drain away, can release as you release into gravity. Welcoming the subtle moments of release, the subtle moments of softening, allowing relaxation to deepen. Your breath will guide you there. Continuing to rest, to trust in the medicine of stillness, to take refuge here in the spaciousness, honoring that there's nothing you need to do or make happen, as the new moon invites us to go deeply into stillness, to slow right down the sacred pause. And let's take just a few more breaths here. As you slowly, gently start to transition, let your right leg stretch back. And then take a moment to glide your hands under your shoulders, head to center, and a little press to lift yourself up. And as you come up, slide the feet off of the pillow, and we'll be taking our 2 blankets and piling them on top of one another, just like that. Reaching for your pillow and tucking it in between your hips and your heels, widening the knees apart as we come into a nourishing child's pose. In this child's pose, these blankets will serve as a little pillow for the forehead to rest on, and the arms will extend forward. And of course, if child's pose doesn't work for your body, come into whatever feels nourishing. I love resting my arms up a little higher on the blanket to help create a little bit more opening around the heart and the back, space between the shoulder blades, making sure that your forehead is supported here, but there's lots of room for your breath to flow freely through the nose. Option 2, just for a few breaths, bring your hands into a prayer position behind the back of the head if that feels nourishing for you. We'll rest here, not quite as long as the other postures, allowing the breath to flow through the pathways and spaces in this sacred posture as you welcome a feeling of reverence, the sacred pause of the dark moon offering us pause in our lives, the sacred pause. Moments of prayer and reverence emerge naturally and effortlessly, welcoming this natural state of awe and reverence for life. Slowly, gently start to emerge back up. And as you lift yourself up, we'll be making our way into our final Shavasana, our final relaxation. But of course, you might choose to pause the video and find any final shape or movement that you feel called to in your own wisdom. So honor that. And if you're coming into Shavasana, my invitation for you is to make sure you have a pillow or a folded blanket underneath your head. We'll be shifting to lay on the back with the pillow tucked in underneath the knees. And there's also the option here to bring your second blanket folded still across the pelvis, as it can be very nourishing to have just a little bit of that soothing weight over the pelvis. Or you might even unfold your blanket and get cozy underneath it. Maybe a covering over your eyes. And really trusting in your wisdom as well. If there's another asana, another restorative posture or variation of Shavasana that's calling to you to be so nourished and so comfortable, please honor that wisdom. And as you're taking your time to settle in, you might attend to little micro movements, a smoothing out of the upper back, a smoothing out of the lower back. Perhaps arms resting at your sides with palms up to receive and eyes closing down into the soothing darkness behind the eyelids. And begin to sense the feeling of the earth at your back. This gentle support the earth offers, even scanning through the back to notice each point of contact from the back of the head to the back of the shoulders and arms, down to the sacrum and buns, and down to the back of the legs and heels, sensing the support of the earth beneath you. You might even imagine that you were laying in a soft bed of sand, and there's an imprint that the body makes in the sand as you yield to the earth and the earth yields to you. Letting go into the soft support. For the next few breaths, consciously shaping the breath to lengthen your exhalation. Your exhalation just a little longer than your inhalation. Each exhale carrying you into the peace at the end of the exhale, into the stillness of the sacred pause, where the impulse to breathe in arises naturally and effortlessly. Life is renewed. And continue to welcome the natural flow of the breath as you let go of any effort. All effort falls away as you allow yourself this gift of stillness. Relaxing and letting go even more as each natural breath guides you to relax a little more relaxed than you were the breath before. And bring awareness gently to the space in the center of the forehead. The mind's eye, imagine a starlight point. During the dark moon, the stars amplify and brighten amongst the darkness. And let's rotate awareness through the inner body, creating a constellation of stars from one point to the next. From the center of the forehead, awareness shifts down to the right eye, starlight point, left eye, back of the head, base of the skull, center of the throat, center of the heart, right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, center of the right palm, tip of the right thumb, tip of the first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, sensing the entire right arm, center of the heart, starlight point, left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, center of the left palm, tip of the left thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, sensing the entire left arm, radiant constellation, both arms together, center of the heart, solar plexus, starlight, space beneath the navel, pelvic floor, center of the right hip, right knee, right ankle, center of the sole of the right foot, tip of the big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, the entire right leg, pelvic floor, starlight, left hip, left knee, left ankle, left foot, center of the sole of the foot, tip of the left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, sensing the entire left leg and sensing both legs together, both legs and both arms, the entire body, the entire body, relaxing into the peace and into the stillness. Infinite space, the mystery, taking refuge, trusting in the natural healing capacity that is within you, in this state of homeostasis, this place of wholeness, where self-healing can occur. Trusting in your practice. As you may prefer to rest here a little longer and to emerge from this rest in your own time, creating your own closing ritual. Or if you're feeling ready to reawaken, you may follow along with my guidance, honoring whatever it is that you need. If you're awakening, bringing awareness to the sounds that surround you and to the feeling of being here in your space. The breath may deepen, and every inhalation, life is renewed. Like a rising sun, like a waxing crescent, life begins again. So you may start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, or take the most gentle stretch or movement, shape shifting. Taking your time and honoring the nourishing stillness that you've cultivated. And when you feel very ready, you might roll to just one side into a fetal position for a few breaths. Again, there's no rush at all. Or you might be closing the practice where you are. Perhaps shifting to an upright position, to bring hands into the heart, palm to palm, and to hold the space of a prayerful dedication, of honoring, of offering, as we give thanks to the lineage of yoga, to this incredible practice in the ancient teachings and all who pass them on. As we give thanks to Mother Nature and to these natural cycles that guide us home. And we dedicate the fruits of our practice to all beings and to the earth, offering peace, offering love. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May peace prevail on earth. Much love to all. And thank you so much for practicing together. So please do leave a comment here on YouTube. I love to hear from you and how you're doing and how the practice lands for you. Peruse the channel to find more practices, and know that Ali and I offer a moon-to-moon restorative yoga teacher training, as well as yoga nidra, transformational sleep training, and 200-hour yoga training, as well as Costa Rica and Ontario retreats, and hoping to connect in some way. Much love. Thank you so much.